There's been too many times where things have been going good and everything's great, but then you come up with a but. But what if she doesn't love me anymore? What if this meant this, or what if that meant this? Instead of always looking for any sign of a problem and then overthinking every little aspect of that problem and then realizing at the end that the real problem was just your overthinking, what if you felt calm, you felt flowy, and any other little problems you had didn't bother you? And even the ones that did bother you, you could address them in a way that didn't make them worse and made them better. Before I discover what I'm about to tell you in this video, my days were plagued with overanalyzing, overthinking, and just a general sinking feeling of anxiety. But I'm here to tell you that there really is a way out. Does this sound familiar? You get home from school, you've had a great day, and then your parents get home, and then they've had a great day, and then you just continue to have a great day altogether. But then the next day, you go home from school, you've had a pretty good day, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, and then your parents get home and they're just pissed. The kitchen's slightly dirty, you forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer, and you forgot to do the dishes. And suddenly, your great day is just turned upside down. But why would this situation be significant at all? As you were being raised, you were taught that security was fleeting. And although these little examples don't feel so significant right now, they changed you. Here's another example. Every day you go to school and your old lady teacher, the person meant to guide you and direct your brain development, yells at you all the time. It's weird because some days she congratulates you over the great work that you do, and then other days she's calling you stupid. Your overthinking has been shaped through hundreds, maybe even thousands of experiences where you felt safe, secure, loved, and then in the next moment you felt neglected, maybe even afraid. It's important to acknowledge that your overthinking is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. This video marks a new chapter in your life where instead of trying to stop overthinking, you actually stop overthinking. How do you just stop doing something and then immediately start doing a different thing? Think of it like this. If a fat guy decides that he'd like to lose some weight and he says he's trying to eat healthier, he'll just keep eating the food that's bad for him. But the other guy that says that he himself is already healthy will actually be more likely to succeed. This is because our habits directly correlate with our identity. And bro, like I said before, you are no longer an overthinker. But of course you have to be something because you can't just be nothing. So what are you? What is your new mindset? What has replaced your overthinker identity? In 300 BC, Zeno, a very wealthy trader, lost everything when his boat sank during a voyage. While most would feel anger or sadness, Zeno believed in acceptance and indifference. Zeno focused on maintaining his composure, remaining calm and neutral despite his predicament. And it was then that he discovered your new identity, Stoicism. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of accepting things that you just have no control over. Zeno losing literally everything he had was something that he just could not go back and change. So he just let it go. Stoicism teaches us that although we may not always have control over what happens to us or what has happened to us, we can control how we respond to things right now, in the present moment. Zeno's ability to stay calm even when he lost everything shows us that it really is not impossible to reframe our thoughts and shift our mindset into one that is more balanced. And trust me, bro, there really are ways that you can learn to get better at responding to these tough situations. The first and most important one is to catch the thought before it takes you into a spiral. You can do this by observing what it feels like to start going into one of these spirals. Once you know how it feels, you'll be able to catch it before it catches you, and you'll be able to disarm it. The second most important way goes hand in hand with the first one, and it's an actual actionable step that you could do right after watching this video: meditation. What meditation allows us to do is it helps us recognize thoughts and feelings before they get out of hand. It gives us the opportunity to actually look at them from afar, from a distance, instead of be them. It's interesting, the first time I started meditating, the session did not actually feel too good. It just felt like I was sitting down and just acting stupid, just trying to focus on my breath. But then I just kept at it because I heard all these things like being able to catch your thoughts. Whoa, that's a great thing. That's great. Imagine if I was able to catch these thoughts before they could do more than they should have done. But a couple days after trying, I actually got a good one. And I cannot stress to you enough, it's like you open your eyes for the first time. You can easily try meditation by downloading this app. It's called Medito. It's actually charity. It's pretty cool. I recommend it. It looks like this on the App Store. I'll have a link in the description. Okay, this third one you may have not expected, but it's to slow down and give yourself some space to think. Because most times, even though it doesn't always feel like it, you actually already know what you need to do. Try this the next time an overthinking spiral starts. Take a deep breath and take a step back. Ask yourself, how would you help your best friend with this problem? Because usually you give pretty good advice to your best friend, don't you? By taking a step back and asking yourself how you would be able to help your friend, you're actually just helping yourself. This is the proper way to solve a problem that nobody's told you before. Chances are, as you've been watching this video, probably even the reason why you clicked on this video is because you had a particular memory in mind where you were overthinking every little problem that you had, and you just made every single one of those problems 10 times worse. This happened to me almost 2 years ago, where me and this girl, we were into each other, and honestly, like, you can always blame the other person. You always can. It's super easy to do that, but it's so much harder to take responsibility. And at the time, I just couldn't find myself taking responsibility. I couldn't bring myself to accept that I did a lot of things wrong. Whenever I would see her acting a little more distant towards me, I would immediately start spiraling. And it just made everything worse because now I wasn't being present in the moment. I couldn't show the most care and even just love. And it's the saddest thing because once you find yourself in a spiral, it gets harder and harder to get back up because you just go deeper and deeper. It's like you're digging your own grave. The more you dig, the further down you go, the harder it will be to climb out. The difference between a grave and the reality of overthinking is that you can always take a step back, even when it feels like you've gone too deep. It's easy to say now what I should have done. Treat her with love, take a step back, and just say, I'm sorry. It's easy to just think about that now. And because I've had enough space to think about it and then figure out what I would be able to do wrong, because, you're a different person than you were in the past. It's like you're helping a different person. Knowing what you know now, you can help that other person. Now I know exactly the advice that I would give to my best friend. Let's recap. What do you need to know to get out of this video and actually see some real change? 1, you overthink because security wasn't always there when you were growing up. And that's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. 2, you are not trying to stop overthinking. You are just not an overthinker. And it's just a matter of time before your brain adapts. 3, you cannot just remove a habit. You must replace it. Replace overthinking with stoicism, acceptance, and indifference. 4, some things that will help you is understanding the feeling of the start of a spiral. Meditating because it will help you recognize that feeling. And remembering to slow down and give yourself some space. And use that space to figure out how you would help your friend, not yourself. And that's it, my friend. Remember, this video will only change your life if you take action. There really is light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me. And if you'd like to have some personal guidance, some personalized advice, you can actually book a one-to-one video call with me in the description below. And you can also just stick to my videos. I got so much value to give you here too. I'm so excited to help you live your best life in every way I can, bro. Stay positive and have a good night, man. Give me a small.